Sam Brooks, of course, a linebacker that was signed in the 2019 class, contributed with 18 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss. So Ricky Rodriguez saying he's going to play a lot this year. Your thoughts about Brooks and where he stands?
Yes, he will if he earns it. Avery Huff will probably have a stranglehold on that starting linebacker position next to fifth-year senior Zack Mcleod, who's been waiting to give his opportunity to wait to stand out because he was the highest rated out of all three of the 2016 version of the Bermuda Triangle. When it came to Shaq Quarterman, Michael Pinkney, and the third player in that was Zack Mcleod. When we moved to the 4-2-5, he had a lot less playing time as the backup behind Shaq Quarterman as the middle inside linebacker in the 4-2-5. And now took a red shirt last year, a grown man move, took a red shirt and now decided to come back and be our leader. And next to him will be a weak side linebacker, whether it's Avery Huff or whether it's Wayman Steed or whether it's Sam Brooks. Now, Sam Brooks is currently out with a shoulder injury and will miss the entire spring. So, therefore, when he comes back in late July, early August for training camp, he's going to have to really fight and make sure he wants to come and contribute. But regardless, he will play. He's one of the fastest linebackers that is currently on our team and able to make some plays. So we're excited to see. I mean, whenever he flashed, every time he got in the game last year, and going up against this up-tempo offense is only going to make everyone better on the defense. So hopefully Sam Brooks, when he gets a chance to strap up and get in the game with us or get in practice with us in late July, early August, he can catch up and be ready to go and against Temple, first game of the season.
Zack Mcleod gets some love from Brandon Tooks, hard hitter, not that good of a linebacker. I hope he has taken the next step because our young guys are coming.
It's one of those wait-and-see approaches. Zack Mcleod, like I said, he's been in this system for 3 years, but he will be going on his 5th season as part of the University of Miami's football program. It's a lot of takes when it comes to Zack Mcleod as far as his coverage skills were pretty bad. But when he got in the games, especially the Pitt game, if you go back and watch the Pitt game of 2019, when he played next to Shaq Quarterman, because Pitt was a really, they play a lot of spread concepts, but versus Miami, they just kind of got in our formation and tried to run down our throat for some unapparent reason. And we did pretty well against their run. And you see Zack Mcleod flash. You see him shoot gaps, hit people, take on blocks. He did a very, very good job as far as spilling plays back inside to other players so that they can get the glory and make the plays. Miami has been looking at a way to elevate our athleticism. And like I talked about, one of the biggest things was leaving Avery Huff at linebacker and not moving him out to striker. They've tried fluctuating weights. They've tried, running 120s time. They've done the whole 22 miles per hour as far as timing how much and how fast the guy's going. They just tried all these innovative things to just measure the speed of our players, because the Miami speed that Mark and a lot of the people who are watching this, whether you're #rewatch squad or whether you're live squad right now, you knew that Miami was a blazing squad. I mean, we were flying. It's not like that anymore. So Coach Manny Diaz has tried to figure out, well, what's going on? Why don't we just look like the fastest team week in and week out like we used to? And one of the biggest things is that athleticism is just going all over the country. The athleticism is going D1, D1 AA, D2, D3. Athleticism and speed is going all over. But when it comes to Zack Mcleod, I think that his leadership and his ability, we will leave him as more of a whole player. So he will just have either the middle of the field or everyone else is in coverage and he's just man on the running back, or being someone that's literally in the middle of the defense and everyone else has a zone. And he's just trying to find where the play is, as opposed to giving him a coverage assignment, which is what he was in 2016 when he was a strong side linebacker and teams would key in on him with slots and tight ends. And just like how everybody's making fun of Romeo Finley right now, Mark, that's how a lot of people felt about Zack Mcleod, because he was out of position in a tough situation that he wasn't used to, playing in space and having to cover. Now he gets to play the middle linebacker and hit people in the mouth, come downhill. I think Zack Mcleod do really well at it.
Is it safe to say, coming from a guy that's been around college football and played college football himself, that maybe the two separations between the elite teams and not just the very top end 4 or 5 teams, but even if we go down the top 25, 30, 40 teams in the nation, then the rest of the FBS in terms of speed would be just waves and waves and waves of guys that have really near top end speed, depending on the position. I'm talking about positions that require speed. I'm not talking about offensive linemen. I'm talking about number one positions that require speed. Then I'm talking about number two, speed relative to your position. And that the big programs would obviously have more waves of guys, 2 and 3 deep, and then also have that 2 or 3 guys, 4 or 5 guys on the roster that are just burners at corner, at wideout, maybe a running back that are just, top end at the combine. Like we see, all you have to do is look at the combine numbers. And if you take the top 5 to 10 at any position, you're going to see a smattering of a, I'm just going to pick a school,
FAU or Sam Houston State or
like
Southern Miss or something like that.
Basically, it's just layered with Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, and the other schools on down the line.
Right. I think it also comes as to Oklahoma, one of those schools that it's about that scheme that attracts those type of players to go there and do very well. I mean, Cam Underwood says a lot about his revisionist history with Tutu Atwell, someone who wanted to be a QB. But then when it didn't come to Miami, he didn't mind being a wide receiver. But when it came to University of Miami, he wanted to be a QB. All right. And then when other people recruited him that weren't Miami, like Louisville, he didn't mind going there to play slot wide receiver. He went there and did very well and is doing very well. He gets to play in an up-tempo offense that uses his ability. If he played for Mark Richt or Dan Enos, he wouldn't have been making the same plays he is playing up there in Louisville. So you have to have an offense that attracts those type of players that know, hey, usually if you're a Blazer, you're not the biggest guy. So you're playing in, your Baylors, your Oklahomas, your Oregons, those teams that played those spread type attack downfield, recently of your Clemson and your Alabamas. But for a while, it was those short, speedier teams, your Big 12 and your Pac-12, that allowed those players to play in open space, and they looked even faster. Miami is just getting to the table as far as doing stuff like that and just hopefully having a spread and hopefully putting our players in position to play fast and look fast. Because like I always say, it's spring ball. It's only been a week. We can't crown us just yet. But hopefully we get that and we use our players in open space. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.